Hello everyone, Denise here. Today I want to look at a yarn that I've never received before from Ice Yarns. I recently had an order. I did a review on their twister yarn. This was the only other yarn that I picked up from them, and this is their Classic DK Light Green. So I picked this up because I was very interested to know if it was similar to other DK yarns that we purchase, you know, Walmart, Michaels, all them. This is quite a hefty ball of yarn. It is 100% acrylic. It's 100 grams, 285 meters. So it's over 300 yards. It's lightweight. 3 calls for a 4 to 5 millimeter or a US 6 to 8 needle. So larger than that for crocheting, but I'm gonna pull the end out here. It's nice and soft. I'm gonna pull the end out here and take a look at it. It is obviously not as twisted as twister yarn because that's, you know, the whole thing with twister yarn. But this does feel very similar to me, like it feels a lot like the paint box yarn that I made my temperature blanket out of. I'm having a hard time getting the middle out here. I did a temperature blanket for the year 2020. I never put that blanket together. It was all huge granny squares. There we go. It was all huge granny squares. It's gonna be like ginormous when I actually put it together. This feels super nice. But it reminds me of the paint box yarns that I might go grab one because this is awfully similar to that. Let me find the center. I think it's in here somewhere. Yeah. Here it is. It is a lot less round than I thought it was going to be. There are 4 plies in it. It's really soft. I'm gonna go grab my paint box yarn. Okay, so I have the paint box yarn. I mean, no, not really. I was wrong. I think the Ice Yarns feels better. I've got some of the Bella Coco yarn. This is some of that Bella Coco crochet, the confection DK that I got when I was subscribed to the Crochet Society. I mean, it's a little similar to it. I do believe there is more twist on confection DK. It's also smaller. I don't know. I think it feels wonderful. I'm gonna work some up just for the heck of it. Compare it in my brain to others that I have tried. If I can think of them, I will go out and grab them. It's similar to paint box, but like I said, I think the Ice Yarns feels better. It's similar to this, but this is more cylinder type yarn. I have some dollar store yarn over here. Let me look at it. This is just their Crafter Square. This stuff is incredibly soft. I have never purchased the Crafter Square yarn. I was pretty impressed with it. Now it feels closer to this than any of them. However, the Ice Yarns has a nicer feel. This has a cheaper feel to it. An inexpensive feel. I don't know. This, I I really like the way this feels. It's very nice. So grab a hook. What is this one? This one's an F. Probably too small. Feels pretty all right. Maybe it reminds me of Red Heart Soft a bit. Not as sleek as that one though. I don't know. It's a good yarn. I like the way it feels. I would like to get more. I do remember there were a lot of colors in this one. There's a lot of yardage in this as well. I think this would make great wearable and baby items. It's very nice. There are a lot of yarns from Ice Yarns that I have not ever tried. And this was one, so that is why I picked it up. I think it's a good solid choice though. So I wanted to find a yarn. It was reminding me of a yarn. The Ice Yarns was reminding me of a yarn, so I just kept hunting through my stash. The only other yarn that I found comparable to the Ice Yarns Classic DK was some Premier Anti-Pilling Everyday DK. This yarn, Ice Yarns, does not say that it is anti-pilling, but it feels like an anti-pilling yarn. It really, really does. This is 273 yards, 250 meters, 3.5 ounces, 100 grams. It's a lightweight 3. It looks lighter to me in the skein as I look at them side by side. But working it up, so I made like 2 little coasters, if you will. Working it up, it has the same dimensions, the same gauge with me, same hook. So yeah. Premier's anti-pilling has that, you know, that extra that I've said a million times, I don't know how many different ways, but Premier has magical fairies that come to their yarn factories and they put magic all over the yarn so that they're super soft and smooth and wonderful. No other yarn I have purchased does that. So Premier always has that in their yarn, no matter what yarn you're talking about with Premier. So that is still there, present in the anti-pilling of the Premier. It's softer. It has that, you know, the extra. This is nice though. This is a nice, if you don't have enough of the Premier anti-pilling yarn, you could interchange these. Similar composition and gauge. I don't know, the Premier is just ever so slightly softer. And I asked my husband to do the test. And he said they did feel as smooth to him. So it's tough. Like if you told me side by side, test these with your eyes closed, you don't know what they are. That is as close as I can come to the Classic DK as far as yarns that I own anyway. I'm sure it mimics something perfectly, but definitely it feels more like an anti-pilling. So yeah. Anyway, mystery solved. It reminds me of an anti-pilling yarn. So I'm gonna probably wash these 2 up and see how they wash up just out of my own curiosity. about the classic DK to see if it washes the same as anti-pilling. So I'll be back to you in a bit. All right, so these were both washed in cold water. It was casual cycle, it wasn't delicate. And then I dried them in the dryer. Our machine says low temperature, not air, but low, and it's still pretty high. Like, I don't know. There's high temp and there's low temp and there's no temp. So I did low. I think, first of all, they both feel so incredible now. After being washed, they're so much softer than they were when I was working with them. So I love that. As you know, to recap, on the left here is the Anti-Pilling Everyday DK from Premier Yarns. And this is Ice Yarns Classic DK in light green. It is, they're both lightweight 3. And I agree with that. I do think the Classic DK may be just a touch thicker. They behave the same. If you can see, like, they look the same after washing. Do I think you can use these together? Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. If you have both of these in your stash and you're looking for yarns that are similar, that will behave similarly, yep, these two will. Do I think they're the same yarn? I don't know. I had said before previously in the video, as long as I kept it in and I didn't accidentally edit it out or something, they feel the same to me. I do think the Ice Yarns may be just the slightest amount heavier than the Premier Everyday DK, but I mean, it is so slight. Like, if you weren't telling me they were two different yarns, it would be really hard for my brain. Premier does have just that edge up on softness. Always, it doesn't matter. It is just slightly more like silky, I guess. Silky in the good way. But they both feel really good. So that is my review of the Classic DK Light Green from Ice Yarns. I like the yarn a lot. I do believe I would purchase it again. It seems like they had a ton of colors in it as well. I didn't review or look into this yarn before picking it up. It was one that I have been thinking about for a while because DK is a good weight for baby items, I think, and also wearables. So I've been thinking about getting the Classic DK for a while. So I like it. I enjoy it. Definitely would use it with the Anti-Pilling Everyday DK, even though it doesn't say it's anti-pilling. It behaves very much like that. Although this was only one washing, it very much behaves like the Everyday DK from Premier Yarns. So that is my opinion on the Classic DK from Ice Yarns. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with this yarn. So I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. If I compare something to any Premier yarn, it comes with high standards already in my mind, because Premier is one of the best yarns that I have ever purchased, alongside of Universal yarn and some of the Hobby Lobby line I find to be the best yarn that I have ever owned in 20 years. So 10 out of 10 for Classic DK from Ice Yarns. Thank you for watching, everyone. I appreciate you. Until next time, guys. Bye.